owned this Jaguar for nearly 20 years now, 2006, and I bought it with my first bonus. But today, I go online and I see that Jaguar have completely betrayed all of their owners with this wokey pokey, slippers on their head, ipsy dipsy, you know, minority, 0.5% minorities, let's appeal to them, let's appeal to the Yas Queens. And
did he say Yas Queens? Like, yes, Queen. Oh, man.
You have completely destroyed your brand. I am selling this car as of today, as of seeing that advert. It's a Jag. It's a Jag. Okay? I don't think you understand. You take away the cat, you take away the old font, the iconic font, you've got nothing left. The only reason we drive your crappy cars that constantly break, that are made out of junk, quite frankly, they're a hunk of junk, but we drive them because it's a Jaguar. And you have ripped that from us. I was completely mentally and emotionally unprepared for what I saw. It goes beyond an insult. It was enraging. It was castrating. It was humiliating. I feel humiliated to be driving around in my Jag now. You have ruined my relationship with my car. You know, and for your own brand, your own car brand to do that after so many years, I feel like I've been cheated on by an ex. And I don't know if you've ever experienced that, but I have. And I'll tell you what, it's the worst feeling you can have. It's the worst feeling I know. So to Jaguar, I say, it's over. I'm done. We are done. Jag owners are done. It's a Jag. It's not a Kia. We don't put our makeup on in these seats. All right? There's no mirror on the driver's sunshade for that reason. It's a macho car.
Well, it isn't anymore because they decided to go and get a new creative director to go in a creative direction that went woke. And we all know that the minute that you go woke, you go broke. This is not anything new. And so I don't know if the brass over there at Jaguar actually understands this. But see, this is much different, right? It's much different than a beer. It's much different than a retail store. When you talk about a car brand, it's an emotional attachment to it, right? I'll give you an example. Being here from Michigan in the Motor City, Ford, Chrysler, and GM, we still call Stellantis Chrysler. You know what I'm saying? Dodge, Ram, Jeep. There's an emotional attachment, even for women, but especially for men. There's an emotional attachment to car brands. I can't explain it. It just is what it is. And so even if a car brand fumbles for the next 10 to 15 years with putting out bad products, they'll still be able to survive just based off of name alone. Simply because that name, when it's historic and it actually has manufactured great cars at some point in history, it can always come back. Brand reputation, especially when it comes to automotive history, can always have a renaissance and come back because we have that nostalgia. We have an emotional connection to it, right? I still hunt for cars that I loved, that I wanted, that I couldn't have when I was a child. I'm still hunting for that. As a 42-year-old man, my goal is to get a Lamborghini Countach and a Diablo because it resonates with me of something that I put on my wall in history, right? And Aston Martin, you automatically tie that to James Bond, and they are making some phenomenal cars nowadays, right? When I think about a DeLorean, a lot of people tie that to Back to the Future, and I am going to get a DeLorean next year. Kendrick Lamar just dropped GNX, and anybody that knows is based off of a Buick Regal My very first car was a 1986 Buick Regal, right? And the goal was to get a Grand National, though. You know what I'm saying? The Grand National resonate, and I'm hunting for that. I just recently last year bought a 1996 Impala, pristine condition, shipped it up from Alabama. I'm on a hunt for a 2004 Mercury Marauder. That car resonate with us, right? There are certain Porsches and all kind of cars, Ferrari F80s, and these cars resonate with us. When you think about buying a truck, a pickup truck in particular, you automatically, the first thing that you think of, most people, especially here in Michigan, is the F-Series, the best-selling nameplate in the United States of America for over 50 years straight, right? The Ford F-150 is a thing, the Raptor, the Lightning, right? And when I think about a Raptor or a Lightning, the Lightning goes back not to the new ones, but to the old ones, the old pickup trucks, right? The Ford F-150s of the early 2000s, the Harley Davidson edition, right? And so when you think about guys, and I don't know about this newer generation, but, you know, from certain generations, it always stuck with you. Cars are part of your identity. You know, it's a part of your identity, and it's a history that's tied to it. And so we like noise. We like things. We like shiny things. We like toys. And that's why we love our vehicles. When Stellantis decided that they wanted to move completely into EVs, which is not 100% their fault. It was based off of the regulations that was being put upon them, right? That Hellcat, it resonates, the Demon, all of that stuff goes back to the 60s and the 70s. And so, you know, the reason why we liked Fast and the Furious, not the newer ones, but the older ones, the first ones, the racers versus the American muscle, it resonates with us. And so when you seen Jaguar completely throw their entire brand, you can come back from making a lot of mistakes, but you cannot go back from emasculating men when it comes to coming up and going woke and then starting to go sassy with your brand, knowing that the people that are looking at these cars to buy them is not the target demographic for that ad. And so I can't believe that these brands are they're so detached from what reality is and what really resonates with people. And there's a few car brands that has never gotten it wrong. They have always focused and they've gotten it right. Porsche, that's why I'm loyal to Porsche. I just recently bought my first 911 this year. I'm looking to get a GT3 next year, and so I'm on a list for that. There are certain car brands that just get it. They focus on it, and they got to maneuver around certain things, but they're not going to dilute their brand by ruining the reputation and going woke. And I cannot believe that Jaguar, and so for those of you that didn't see it, I'll put a link to the video and my reaction to it in the description. You can go back and watch that. For those of y'all that didn't see it, Jaguar just completely ruined their brand. They wanted to go diversity, equity, and inclusion. And we just voted out Biden and Kamala Harris and all of them because they kept on talking about all of this crap and diversity, equity, and inclusion. Masculinity is in. Masculinity is in. And so for any of you brands that think that you're going to come out here and give us something and shove this thing in our faces and think that we're just going to buy your brand because you want to go woke, think twice. Because if you want to be like Tata Motors and you want to absolutely destroy a brand and go woke like Jaguar, then even when people are loyal to the brand, people will be loyal to a brand even if it's trash, even if it's not as good, just because they love the brand itself. We do that with a lot of things, especially our toys. Especially our toys. We do it with our sports teams, and we do it with our cars. Don't mess with our sports. Don't mess with our cars. They tried to mess with our sports with this whole pandemic going woke thing the first time. It didn't work. Don't mess with our toys and don't mess with our cars. Leave our toys and our cars alone. Y'all let me know what y'all think inside of the chat. Make sure y'all tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description. Also, teach Hanley 40% off your first order, 20% off of life. And then last but not least, make sure that you guys get your tickets to come and see me December 14th in Detroit. It's going to be awesome. I want to hear what y'all think inside of the chat. I'm going to put the link to the video down in the description.